Well, the first question is always the easiest one. Can you please introduce yourself?
I'm John from Scars on Broadway. That was pretty easy.
Well, Scars on Broadway. For a lot of people, it might be a new name they hear, but it's a project, or it's even a band. You guys already started 3 years ago, isn't it?
Yeah, Darren's actually been involved with it for about 3 years, and he asked me to be a part of it about 1.5 years ago. So it was something that was in the works during System of a Down, and when we agreed to take a hiatus, it's something that took a lot more time and precedence.
Because I think you really need, especially when you're in a band that's constantly on tour or recording albums, you really need an hiatus to have the time to record an album, don't you?
Well, you need it for that, and you need it for sanity, as well as to maintain your relationship. You know, when you've been working together for 14 years, 12 years, you just need a break. You know, even though I'm working with the same people, really, it's still a break from System. You know, and it's time for us to have a different identity, you know, go back to something else, something simpler.
Because when I read stuff about it, for you guys, it's the fun thing is, one of the fun thing is that the direction of the crowd, for example, because with System of a Down, you almost know how people will react to you guys on stage on an album.
It's not really that we take it for granted. It's just that when you've been playing for so long, you know, and pretty much every night the crowd goes crazy and stuff, we love it, but it loses its meaning, you know? And with this, we have no guarantees. We don't know if people are going to love it, hate it, disregard it. So it's the sense of not knowing that's interesting.
It's bringing the tension back into being an artist, I think.
Yeah, and it's fresh, you know, for us. It's like I said, the main aspect of this that is exciting is that we don't have no guarantees how people are going to react. You know, we're playing here in about a month and a half. So we don't know if there's going to be people at the show. We don't know if they're going to enjoy it. We don't know if they have the album. We don't know anything.
But you have been playing already, didn't you guys? Mm-hmm. How did that go? Because it might be completely different.
It was cool, you know, because nobody knows the music yet. It's a lot of like, you know, staring and listening and that type of stuff. But it's been a long time since anybody reacted that way to us. In fact, the last time that we experienced that was in '98 when we toured with Slayer here in Europe. I don't know if you were at that show.
Yep.
That was fun.
Yeah, then you got like a small difference in ages of the people that came to the show.
Yeah, you know, Slayer, of course, had a lot of young fans, but there have been people that have been following them for 20 years. You know, and I guess now we've had people that have been following us for 10, 11 years, and there's generations that are coming up learning about the music and don't have an opportunity to be fans of Scars.
But that's funny, because you're mentioning now a tour after a few years, after the beginning, or after the time System of a Down really got to go. Because right now, you might be in the same position. So you might be talking to me or to somebody else within a few years with the same story. Well, in the beginning, people were staring, and then a year later, it all started all over again.
Well, that's kind of what you hope happens. You know, you hope that people understand it, you hope that people get it, and ultimately you hope that people enjoy the music. And that's what it's all about, really, you know. And there's just something about the energy of being on stage. I can't live without it.
That's also the ambition of an artist. I mean, there are a lot of people that might hope for it, but you guys seem to really work for it also. I mean, this is not just an album.
Well, we've been very lucky, you know, to be afforded the opportunity to even do this. To do it twice is really lucky, you know. But we work very hard, and we take it very seriously, and the music is very serious to us. And we try to put out something that not only will be looked at now, but in the future also, and respected, you know, because we respect what we do. We hope other people do too.
It's going to be hard for me to get really to the point of the music after listening to the album for one time. But if I may say, after one time of listening, it's a little bit easier to listen to, I think, than some System of a Down songs. If you even have to compare it with System of a Down, but it's
a little more straightforward. Look, it's natural that people are going to compare us to System because two of the guys from System are sitting in the band, you know. But the bottom line is that Scars is different. It's got a different life. It will have different fans, and it'll have some fans that are the same. But there may be fans that like Scars that don't necessarily like System, and vice versa. You know, and that's okay, because different bands, so will attract a different audience. I think that one thing about Scars that you're that when you heard you picked up on is that it's a little bit more straightforward. It's more Kinks than Metallica.
Yeah. But it's not easy listening. I mean, it's not that straightforward that after one time of listening, you know the whole album, etc.
Yeah, there will be things that you'll remember, because there's melody involved, and when there's melody, it's going to stick in your head. But we craft albums that need to be listened to over and over again to really pick up on the nuances of it, and that's the way it should be, I think.